What is up, party people? Happy Hot Take Tuesday. Portion of the program is brought to you by NSA, National Certified Alarm. No long-term contracts. Lesson number 645. Happy Tuesday. We got some hot takes for you today. A lot of stuff. A lot of hot takes. So many hot takes. It's going to be so hot in here. Is Jay going to play with us? Is that what we decided there, Bell? We're unsure.
I don't know. Jay doesn't play well with others.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, that's kind of my handicap.
It's kind of the way he does things. Mm-hmm. All right. We'll find out. Find out if he's going to play with us. Find out if tomorrow's going to do a little one-hit wonder with us. I have no idea. We will find out, though. That's what we do. Hope all is well with you guys. A lot of stuff to get to. Obviously, the war. It's now over, but it's not. But it could be. But it kind of isn't. Does everybody get that?
Hey.
Depending on what time of day it is and whether or not he's had his milk and cookies, we'll find out if Trump is or isn't going to be all about war. So a new wave of strikes, then they struck back, and then everybody's striking each other. And then gas prices are going up, and then that sucks. But Trump, a little while ago, truth out this, take it for what it's worth, right? We all know that because you never know exactly what it is. This is funny. All of those countries who are upset about jet fuel climbing, they can get the jet fuel because of the Strait of Hormuz. The United Kingdom, which refused to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, have a suggestion for you. Number one, buy from the U.S. We have plenty. Or number two, build up some delayed courage. Go to the Strait and just take it. You have to start learning how to fight for yourself. The USA won't be there to help you anymore, just like you weren't there for us. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done. Get your own oil. President Donald J. Trump. So what does that mean? Does that mean that they now have the Strait of Hormuz? It's just theirs? That's not a good thing. We can't have that. That would be like saying, all right, we're done. We quit. We're walking away. You guys keep everything. We broke it. They broke it. Everybody broke it. Oh, by the way, they're in a better position they've ever been, making more money than ever before. And now all of our neighbors in the Gulf would then have to go to the Iranians and say, what's the toll going to cost to get us our oil moved?
They're not going to do that.
No.
If Iran tried to enforce that, the war would continue to go on. Only it would be against Saudi Arabia and Iran.
Well, they'd have to get involved, right? Yeah. Like, because they keep telling us, you guys got to do more. Well, hey, you know what? You guys feel free to jump in whenever you want.
We sell you weapons. Use them.
Yeah, no doubt. What are those for? You know they work, right? But there's no way. Like, that is, look, I don't want boots on the ground. I don't think anybody wants boots on the ground. The thought that we would just walk away, though, which is, where's the best deal that we can give them and just go, okay, we learned. It's a nightmare, Let's not get involved in this crap. It's not about whether or not we could blow them up to smithereens. We absolutely could. Everybody knows that. It's whether or not we, as a nation, by the way, because you hear all the people that are doing okay going, you guys just got to suck it up. Right? Sorry, gas is $1 more. Just deal with it. Yeah.
It's good for you. $500 barrel gas is a good thing.
Oh, yeah, that's what he said last week, which was hilarious. So, which is not, by the way, not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Zero zilch reason to believe that is a good idea to have that kind of gas. So,
but we're at how many dollars a gallon? I mean,
$4 now.
No, how many a barrel? How much is it a barrel?
West Texas crude, when I last checked just a second ago, was about 102.
Okay, 102.
And Brent
now, can you equivalently extrapolate? Like if it's if it's $4 a gallon at 102, does that mean it's going to be $16 a gallon at 500?
Yeah, right around there.
So that would be the correct ratio.
Yeah.
$500 barrel. That's awesome.
That seems like the oil companies would not even be thrilled with that. Because remember, the oil companies want that sweet spot between about 60. They can go down a little bit lower for the more established ones, but that 60 to 70 range, that's pretty good. Everybody's making money. Nobody's complaining about how expensive it is because you don't want that. But at $500 a barrel, that's an uncomfortable time.
$16 a gallon. That's, yeah, I want to pay that.
And that's for us.
Yeah.
Imagine what it's like in places where it's already heading towards that $12 a gallon. Could you imagine that? I mean, you're looking at what? $50 a gallon? $60 a gallon?
Don't most European countries pay like $8 or $9 a liter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're paying enough, right? In between, probably they're paying California on upwards, depending on where you are.
So that would really kick them in the teeth.
Yeah. Well, the economy would be it's over at that point. The economy comes to that's a depression. It's just there's nothing's going on. Nothing's going on at that point. Now, do I think it's going to get to that? No, I don't. Do I think we're going to walk away anytime soon and just say, screw it? Nah, I don't think so. Trump needs a win. Everybody needs a win, right? Like that's the thing with something like this. Everybody wants to go away with, yay, look at us, and we did good. I don't know if we're going to walk away with this in the way that, are we going to put any boots on the ground? I hope not. I absolutely hope we don't. But there is no doubt that there are, powers that be that would love to see us put boots on the ground, including the likes of Israel, who, by the way, said yesterday, well, we're not going to go into Iran with you. Well, what are we doing this for?
Because we're their bitch.
Yeah. And by the way, if I was Iran, you know what I'd be doing right now? Figuring out how I could take what I've got, because we didn't destroy their nuclear stuff the way that everybody thought, figuring out how I could go about building a nuclear bomb, therefore being the deterrent in the area. If you, and anybody would be in that situation. Going, how do we do this? We can. What do we need to do? Well, we got to go in there and get that stuff. Going in there and getting that stuff. Somebody said yesterday, they texted, they said, why don't we just do it like Venezuela? If we were to go in and get this stuff, I was talking to a colonel told me this is what we'd have to do. First of all, we have to get to the facility, and then we have to get into it. So we're going to have to fly our people in. We're also going to have machinery to dig down. So you're going to have combat. Then you're going to have elite forces. Then you're going to have excavators. Then you have to have special people to handle the material. So it comes in like a scuba tank is what it said. So then we're going to have to figure out, we're not going to drive it out of there. So we're going to fly it out of there. So then we're going to need to have a makeshift landing strip to get us out of there. And it'll probably take 3 to 10 days. That's a long time to be in there. That's a long time. That's why coming up with the best opportunity to figure out how we can go about getting them to sign off on some stuff and getting them to give us the material like they said they were going to in the last negotiation. That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty damn good. But at the end of the day, what do we care about here? We care about the politics of the money. We're a nation that lives and breathes in we're a checkbook society. Trump understands that. He's looking. He's trying to do everything he possibly can to make sure that this stuff, doesn't get too out of hand. The fact that it hasn't got out of hand is pretty damn amazing, considering that 2% of the oil flows from Russia compared to 22.5 or 23% that goes through the Strait of Hormuz. And there hasn't been that bump like we could have seen. But how much of that is us taking money and throwing it at the market, trying to keep this thing down? We'll see. God, man. I was just sitting there thinking, could you imagine if it was $10 a gallon, let alone 16 or 20? The only people that would go to work are people who, your electric car that that people bought, because you can go get those Teslas now cheap. Man, those things would be worth a gank of cash. They're the only people who get to work. Maybe I should tell my wife if we're going to move. Maybe we should move just close enough that I can, or maybe stay here so I can still walk to work. Because that would be a smart thing. Mm-hmm. Because they're supposed to be going to look at, the kids are going to look at the house with my wife tonight. We didn't take them on Sunday.
Got to have their approval.
Get him excited, I think, kind of get him excited about the house if we're going to take it. And my wife really wants it.
So basically what you're saying is you get them excited so they're on board.
Yes. Yeah. Charlie wants it now because Charlie's already planned out a room she's never seen in her mind. It's all done. She's got friends in the neighborhood that she's never met before already. This is awesome for her. She's super excited. And the dogs have a whole giant place to run.
Well, everybody she meets is her best friend.
Well, everybody is. Lily, different story. Lily's, she keeps talking about, like, look at this. She sends me houses. Chad, look at this house. Look at this house. I'm like, no. How far do you want me to move away from where we live? Do you remember what it was like when I was 70 miles away from the house or 65? That sucked. So let's not do that. Like Matt can drive in that far. If I only had one show, I would be like, that's fine. But 2 shows and then me having to do a bunch of stuff later on in the evening, that ends up kicking you right in the grundle. Oh, it does. Right in the grundle, I said. Jeez. Let's see here. Is there still a war in the Ukraine? There is still a war in the Ukraine. Here's something crazy. You want to hear something super crazy? Since the war started here, or whatever this action is, the excursion, is that what Trump called it the other day? The excursion? Like if you're going on a cruise, you're like, oh, what excursions are you guys taking? Since then, Israel has grabbed more land than the size that Russia has grabbed in Ukraine.
Well, they've taken the entire
Lebanon.
Yeah, Lebanon. They're 20 miles inland and claiming it's theirs now. They said they were going to start demolishing the houses.
Yeah, they move in quick. You're not waiting. Like they move in. If they come across your land, it's now become their land. Somebody says if some of these prices don't start coming down, I'm going to have to. I'm not built for that.
Yes, you are, Jason.
You guys can use your mind what means. So we should bomb them every 10 years to keep them from starting over. There you go. I mean, you can do that if you want. I mean, you are. So for those of you guys who don't know, Bell has become the aforementioned expert of North Korea.
It's getting there.
It is. It's getting there. Every day he's got something new.
And I got to say, it's
fascinating.
Extraordinarily fascinating and interesting, but it's also at certain points becomes very depressing.
It is. Those people have nothing. But they don't. Some of them have no idea they have nothing. They're so brainwashed. There's a difference. The Iranians know life is out there because they have the internet.
Yeah.
It may get blocked in certain areas, but they have the internet. These people have nothing. That's why when the North Koreans go over to Ukraine, they get a phone, they lose their mind. But
well, and the most basic way to explain how bad off they are is that map that shows North Korea at night versus South Korea at night. And the only place you see lights is Pyongyang.
That's it. And it's not like it's a ton of lights.
And even in Pyongyang, which is the North Korean capital, you have issues with having to do rolling blackouts in the city.
Stable power grid.
And you don't always have water available 24 hours a day.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And that's supposed to be the greatest part of the country.
Yeah, think about that. But getting the nuclear bomb, no matter how many they have or don't have, and becoming nuclear changed North Korea's trajectory because it gave them a seat at the big people's table, even though they don't deserve it. But the most important thing it did, it kept everybody. If they didn't have a nuclear weapon, I can almost guarantee by now either South Korea and them would have gotten into something or China would have probably gobbled them up.
Yeah, and they are not getting along with China.
No, they don't. They don't get along with China at all. So that nuclear weapon, there's a reason that people effort for it. Everybody thinks they all want to use it. You'd be surprised that it's a great deterrent for everybody else. Peace through strength.
Well, it's just you imply a risk that may or may not be taken when you have a nuclear bomb.
Yes.
When you don't have one, it's very easy to go in and go, we don't have to worry about them expanding this. We're going to control it. Well, if a nuke was used by North Korea, they would cease to exist.
They would cease to exist.
And trust me, there ain't that much to blow up.
No, but
by having it, you guarantee a certain level of being left alone.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah, by having it realistically, what it ensures them is South Korea is not going to invade them. And South Korea, by the way, and China, they kind of like the buffer. They don't like the annoyance, but they like the buffer because they are annoying. We all know that. All right, Hot Take Tuesday. We're going to talk a little bit about SCOTUS and the, what was it? So they upheld, they came down on the side of the conversion therapist based on the First Amendment, which is kind of fascinating. We'll talk a bit about that. We'll get your hot take as well. And Disney adults. Disney adults. We're going to talk about them. There's a big like expose about Disney adults. We will talk about them. Before you go and go, those people are weird, because plenty of people say that. I'm going to throw some out to you. Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7.
From Capitol Hill to Capitol Boulevard, Super Talk 99.7 WTN connects the dots between national decisions and local impact.
Information fueled, opinion driven. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Omaha Steaks, baby, is amazing. How about this for Omaha Steaks, right? So you guys know how amazing they are. Steaks are incredible. They've got all this great comfort food. Comfort food's awesome because when you're driving home, you're like, oh, God, what am I going to eat tonight? But this is incredible. Take Easter and say, what can you guys do for me? I'll tell you what they can do for you. You got 4 coming over? Easter dinner for 4? How about this? The Duroc boneless country ham, scallop potatoes, which are incredible. They got dessert. They got steakhouse cream of corn, individual baguettes with garlic butter right there. Or you can build on your own, different sides, different salads, desserts, the whole 9 yards for up to 8. Half off right now and nothing for you to worry about. Take something off your plate and enjoy Easter and do it with my friends over at Omaha Steaks. And on top of it being 50% off, you're going to save huge right now, an extra $35 off at checkout. So you go to omahasteaks.com, use my code Benson, save an extra $35 off. It's 50% off site-wide, but check out the Easter thing and all of the amazing deals they have for the best food around, all backed by a money-back guarantee. omahasteaks.com, code Benson saves you $35 off at checkout. See site for detailed terms may apply.
Developments now in the case involving the accused killer of Charlie Kirk. And an interesting case of a woman arrested based on the results of AI face recognition. We'll have those stories coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
We're totally going to get into that a little bit later. It's a fascinating and yet awfully frightening story. Poor lady here in Tennessee, they had to go to the Dakotas.
And it wasn't on a trip to see anything interesting.
Yeah, was not on any kind of interesting trip. Speaking of trips, guys, let's take a trip down Hot Take. Hot Take, Hot Take, Hot Take Tuesday. Oh, yeah, you know how we do it. Hot Take. Your hot take is anything but politics. Anything but politics. We don't do politics on the Hot Take time. It's craziness, it's wackiness, it's music, it's whatever it is that is not politics. Feel free to run free with it. You, my friend, go.
Fish. I like fish. Like it fried. Like it baked. But when it comes to fish as pets, useless.
I was going to say a fish is not a pet.
It is a pet. People pretend it's a pet. It's useless as a pet. There is no point.
Now, does that include octopus?
I would make an exception for octopus.
Yeah. You get to a certain, level, they recognize you, right? And they want to come out because they know you're going to feed them, right? They don't know who you are, but they know they're not going to cuddle you. But octopuses are different. They're an absolute different creature altogether. Man, you stole that from me. You absolutely stole that from me. I was really, honestly, I was thinking about that today. I was like, fish is not a pet because I've been really into fishing, like watching people with big aquariums, like what they have in there, and it's fascinating. It's like you still live with your mom, but you got like $500,000 worth of fish stuff in your house.
And then conversely, you've got the person that has the one little beta fish in the bowl, and all it does is swim around wanting to die.
They never die. Dude, I had a beta fish, but I had one of those little African frogs, the little tiny ones that I got with him. It's like that thing lived for like 8 years, just kept swimming around in there.
But that fish is suicidal. This is not life. I can't. If you would give him a razor, he would cut his fin.
Yes, he would. By the way, 74.99 says Miley Cyrus is next Dolly. Ooh.
This is so embarrassing. I went into Starbucks to get my little grande iced coffee, and I was sitting down waiting for it, and I'm hearing music, and I'm going, wow, this is actually pretty good. Wonder who this is. I Shazam it, Miley Cyrus.
Oh.
I was so embarrassed.
Oh, God, that is. Fish. Bell, appetizers, Bell. Small fish can be appetizers.
That's fine, but I'm good with appetizers. I'm not good with somebody pretending it's a pet.
Goodness me. All right. My hot take is that the Bell stole. But how do we think of that together? Stole it from my mind.
Yeah, there was no active collusion on that.
There wasn't. There was zero active collusion on any of this. Okay. My hot take is. That's a good one. I have no idea. You stole it from me. You stole my one. Because I was like really stoked about this one. You know what I could go into? My hiking. How hiking's not really. Don't ever. Two things. Hiking and mountain biking is stupid. I know so many people have mountain bikes and they've never been on a mountain. They ride their bike around like it's a 10-speed. They've never been on a mountain. And mountain biking is, don't even think about mountain climbing, just hiking, any of that crap. It's silly. Don't do it.
I agree. There's a reason we invented couches.
There are so many good reasons. Mostly to sit and just hang out.
Watch TV.
Watch TV is always a good thing. I'm telling you guys. But I will tell you, the hiking thing, this is why we're getting ready to move to this new place. My wife is so excited because she's finally going to go hiking with us. Because the waterfall is literally 50 yards from the house. And I go, yeah, maybe I'll go down there. I can almost guarantee you, I could live there for 3 years. And she'll go, how was it? I said, I've never been. I'm not built for the outdoorsy, is what I'm trying to say.
Outside bad, inside good.
Yes, indeed. And I like being outside, just I don't like being outside in the nature, right? Pickleball, golf, swimming, stuff like that. I just don't want to be outside where there's nature.
Chad, this is Tennessee, man. You got to experience our ticks.
No, I pass on that. I pass on that big time. All right, coming up, we'll talk a little bit about the whole Supreme Court coming down with the ruling about the conversion ban, or unbanned, if you will. We'll talk a bit about that. Plus, Disney adults. You know who you are out there. We will discuss. If you're a Disney adult, let us know.
Weirdo.
He thinks you're a weirdo. Are you a weirdo? Or is there maybe something to it? We shall discuss. Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 99.7.
31 minutes past high noon. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. The weather forecast is coming right up. The man accused of killing conservative figure Charlie Kirk, he's asking for his upcoming preliminary hearing to be delayed. ABC's Alex Stone has the reasons why.
In a new court filing, Tyler Robinson's defense attorneys claim they believe from a summary report and without seeing a full report that the ATF was unable to definitively link a bullet fragment recovered at the autopsy of Charlie Kirk to the rifle allegedly used by Robinson. Defense attorneys say they need more time now to review material and bullet analysis that they say could help in Robinson's defense. They're asking for a 6-month delay of the preliminary hearing. Robinson is charged with murder.
A woman is now suing the police department in Fargo, North Dakota for wrongful imprisonment, saying officers relied on artificial intelligence to put her behind bars. ABC's Mike Dubusky has that story.
Fargo Police Chief David Zabolski says his department made missteps when they took Angela Lips into custody last summer. The 50-year-old says she was behind bars for 5 months on bank fraud charges after a partner agency of Fargo PD used an AI facial recognition program to identify her. Lawyers for Lips later found she was in Tennessee at the time of the crimes. She says she's never actually been to North Dakota. Lips says she's planning to sue.
Back here in Middle Tennessee, last night in Rutherford County, a very hotly contested public hearing over the future of the library director there.
Council members voted to fire the library director, Luann James. It comes after she refused to move more than 100 LGBTQ-themed books into the adult section. The vote was not unanimous.
That's Channel 4's Marius Payton. These are children's books with sexual LGBTQ themes that were part of an order by the Secretary of State, Trey Hargett, requiring libraries to make an age-appropriate review of books. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends of all ages, Beacon Capital Management is going to do something for you, a free personalized financial consultation. Not going to cost you anything but a phone call and a quick chat with them. Maybe go down and see them. Now, why would you need Beacon? Well, for many reasons, right? Maybe it is the investment side of stuff. You want to make sure you don't want to outlive your money. It's good to have somebody who you know is here, is local, can talk to you about it. And when it comes to your retirement, on top of that, maybe you've got issues with, they just don't do the investment side of stuff. They do everything from healthcare to long-term care to taxes to everything in between. They're ready to be your one-stop shop, and they're amazing. Beacon is incredible. And there's plenty of things like with taxes that many people have no idea what to expect when it comes to the tax situation with the one big beautiful bill, especially if you're over 65. There's a deduction, right? Additional deduction up to $6,000, but you got to take advantage of it now. This thing's not going to last forever. There's plenty of other things that they can help you with as well. Long-term care, don't sleep on that. That is a serious issue that many people need to start addressing, because you not only do not want to outlive your money, you also don't want to be in a situation where everything you end up losing to long-term care. Let them help you with that. Call Beacon today, 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303, or visit them online at beaconcm.com. For Beacon Capital Management, this is a paid placement. A lot of good hot takes today. It's on fire and fuego. Steve says hunting's not a real sport. It's an activity. To make hunting a real sport, you need to arm the animals, let them shoot back. I like that. Here's a hot take. Sally's right. Electric bikes are just crappy motorcycles. That's my son. He likes bike life. Now, here's something. He likes bike life. That's his thing. He likes him and his buddies got their electric bikes that cost as much as motorcycles. But he got his learner's permit. So now
Screw the bike. It's time for the car.
That's it. Except for the fact that in California, I'm like, yeah, no, the insanity of how much it's going to cost to insure anything in California.
Have you checked to see what it cost?
Yeah, with him and his mom, it'll be like $500-600
a month. Good Lord.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm like, yep.
And California is just, they are trying to screw you at every possible angle they can.
Yeah. I don't even know who's that for? Who's that for? I'm like, Jack, it'd be cheaper for us to buy you a crappy car and just get the comprehensive insurance, or not comprehensive, just the cheap, like if you smash into something. Liability. Then try to do that with your mom's car. I said, but you're not going to have any of the stuff, right? You're not going to have any of the stuff. So you're not going to have any of the little touch screens like your mom's got.
No GPS.
Yeah.
You have to use your phone for that.
But because he's going to be a junior next year, well, now his mom doesn't want to go pick him up at hockey practice at 10:30 at night. She doesn't want to.
She's looking at him turning 15 and getting his license at 16 as a certain amount of freedom for her.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see here. Some of the other things that people are saying. I like this. A lot of good stuff about Fish. How much they suck, the band. Hot take, guitars do not need to be played. They could. The purpose is just owning them. That's interesting.
Sounds like a guitarist.
Fish is a pet. Cats is a pet. What's the difference? Bell?
Cats actually will care about you, and cats like you, and cats do things with you and talk to you, and fish just swim.
We suck because they're goldfish. 9550 says is 8 years old. Man, have you seen how big goldfish? People don't realize how big goldfish will. You put them in a tiny goldfish in a big pond, you're going to get a big old goldfish.
Well, they're a subcategory of koi, aren't they?
Yeah. So they'll grow. I mean, they'll grow. There's some places in Virginia too where people have let goldfish out, and now these things have been there for years, and there's massive goldfish everywhere.
I saw a YouTube short where a guy was fishing on the bank and caught one that was probably, 9 or 10 inches long.
Yeah, they get big. So several people not happy about the goldfish. And again, they do bring down, by the way, fish tanks and aquariums, they will bring your blood pressure down, as somebody said. They're very relaxing, right? But
Except when you're cleaning them.
Yeah. But they're not like your dog or your cat where you pet them, or my capybaras, where you can be able to pet them and hold them. So I could see that. It's a different kind of pet. That's more of an owner relationship.
Also, between cats and fish, a cat will eat a fish. A fish can't eat a cat.
Unless the cat falls into someplace where there's a fish big enough to eat it.
Well, that could be true.
Like a grouper. All right, guys.
Scary.
Disney adults.
Weirdos.
That's what you say. Here's one thing the right and the left can agree on. This is Jennifer Welch and her friend. I forgot. They are the big lefty blonde chicks from Oklahoma who are super wealthy liberals talking about, yes, I'm going to say it, Disney people.
What about f***ing Disney adults? F***ing Disney adults, I just don't get that one bit at all. I just don't understand why anybody would get married at Disney. I don't understand why they would go on their honeymoon to Disney. I think to go to Disney and enjoy it, you have to have little kids.
Okay. I have enjoyed myself at Disneyland with my children. I genuinely have. As an adult, would you and I we're in LA. I think we're going to go to Disneyland for the day.
No.
I think it's weird. Do what you want to do. It's a free country. I don't get it. I think maybe we're cold-hearted, horrible people.
Yes.
But also, and maybe more accurately, Disney adults are the weird ones.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can't believe I agree with a liberal.
Okay. Well, if you don't think that's weird, here's Matt Walsh, who is not a liberal.
Adults who enjoy Disney World are mentally ill. There's obviously some sort of mental illness going on here. I think more research needs to be done. There are adults who do this without kids, for themselves. Imagine that for a second. You're an adult, you have some time off of work, you don't have any kids, and you decide to go to Disney World.
Are they weird? Now, here's my thing. Psychology has been looked at by this. They've done studies on this, on whether or not they're odd people. And you know what they found out? They're actually pretty happy. Usually there are two-income folks with no kids. And they found their tribe.
Bad news, haters. Turns out those Disney adults people make fun of all the time are right about everything. They may get roasted all the time. I mean, these are grown men and women who burst into tears as soon as they see Mickey Mouse. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But according to therapist Jessica Vickers, they're actually living life better than the rest of us. Turns out being a person who spends all of your disposable income going to theme parks has 4 key benefits the rest of us could stand to learn from. Number 1, they do not care that you're judging them. Yes, you, not me. I would never. Or at least they don't care enough to not do the thing they love that everyone's judging them for. Imagine what the world would be like if we all had their dedication to happiness.
Well, you really got to go for it. But how is this any different than, let's do let's go out and we'll all dress up like it's a civil war?
I think that history has more value than Disney.
Disney's history.
It should be.
It is. How's this different?
What the hell is wrong with you?
How's this different than going to a Comic-Con? Outside of the fact that the girls at Comic-Con are kind of hoey and they look good. It's like, oh my God, I never thought I was going to be this attractive.
You ain't going to see cosplay at on that level at Disney.
No, because you're not going to, you're not going to roll in there dressed up. They don't let you do that. Trust me, I tried. But
what were you trying to dress up as?
I used to say when I worked at Knott's Berry Farm as a kid, I was Charlie Brown for a summer, and I kept saying, man, we should just take this over and try to break into Disney and have a fight with Mickey Mouse. So, but how is this different than that stuff?
Because it's the other stuff's not weird.
See, we're all basing it on weird, right? We're all basing it on weird. What about those Renaissance folks who, by the way, when you're done at Disney, you go home, you're back to being a computer programmer. These people that do the LARPing, they pretend that they're some 7th century Duke all the time. Wackadoos.
2, they hang on to their imagination. Adult life is basically nothing but bills, jobs, and stress. But Disney adults have their own little bubble that they can just escape to and dream a little while.
True. Nothing wrong with that. And the most important thing about all of this? Tribe.
Number 3, and this is probably the most important one, they have a community, and a non-judgmental one at that. And multiple studies have shown that most of us are desperate for what they have, even if we do find the details of their community a little strange. And once again, by we, I mean you, because I would never judge a Disney adult.
And I made fun of, so my uncle, right, today, I was joking. I'm like, dude, I had to stand up for you today on my national show. Because my uncle, he's a dink. Double income, no kids.
You talking about Paul?
My Uncle Paul. Him and his wife go to Disney probably 6-8 times a month. Because they live just up the street. Literally just up the street.
What's it cost to get into Disneyland?
They pay... Their gold standard membership, I think each one of them paid $1,500, $2,000 for.
And that gets you in anytime you want?
Anytime. He's got no blackouts. He's got nothing.
Oh. Okay.
Nothing whatsoever. So, and, so like when I'll call him, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, we're at Disney. I said, he goes, Carmen wanted to come over. We're going to ride a ride and probably just get something to eat. We're going to eat dinner and go home. They don't travel there. Like if he said, look, if I lived in Nashville, I'm not flying to go to Disney. Right. I'm like, I get it. It's something to do. But there are people out there, when I was going through the story today, that move to Disney. They move to it. And I'm like, you know what? I get it, right? That's what makes you happy? Who cares? Are they weird? Any weirder than what? Any weirder than a grown man who's going to wear another grown man's jersey with somebody else's name on the back? That's a bit odd. Well, it's different. Is it? Is it different? Is it different than, it's like, we'll go cheer guys playing a kids game who make millions of dollars. Well, it's different. No, it's not. They found their tribe, and their tribe happens to be a bit odd.
I will admit that I probably have a certain degree of bias because I get a little angry that that Bob Iger is getting that kind of support from people after he was the lead in wrecking Star Wars.
Oh, they paid him out last week. Did you see that?
So who's their new CEO?
You know what? Let me see here. Bob Iger's payout last week was so ridiculous that he got, just to leave, $50 million just to leave. And that didn't count all the stock he got. So they've moved somebody else up. But, man, you're right. He did ruin. Was it Star Wars?
Yeah.
Star Wars.
But they haven't announced who's replacing him?
Goodness me. I don't know who's the new replacement.
Because he handpicked his own replacement last time, and that guy was running it into the ground so badly, they brought Iger back.
Yes. I don't know. Yeah. And then that woman, right? She just left, the woman that destroyed Star Wars.
Kathleen Kennedy?
Yes.
Yeah, they just replaced her with Dave Filoni.
God, man. Talk about destroying something. Although Star Trek is Josh D'Amaro. He's the new CEO of Walt Disney Company.
You can't.
He's 55. He's been 27 years with the company.
You can't be a CEO and be named Josh.
Yeah. His package is $2.5 million base salary and $36 million a year in stocks, bonuses and whatnot. So
yeah, but that's tied to
performance,
right?
Yeah. But you're still going to get a lot. I think when all was said and done, I think Iger got like $400 or $500 million to go away, basically. Bye. It's good money if you can get it, kids. I'm trying.
Well, I mean, he had planned to retire anyway. He tried to retire
already.
before. I think he's not really going away. He's telling them, "I'm leaving."
Yeah. The Jay, he pulled a Jay Leno where he went away and they said, "Oh, this isn't working with Conan. You need to come back and save it," which I thought was kind of a Richard move.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. But look, Disney people, are they a bit odd? Yes. Everybody's a little bit odd. We all got our weird things, right? We all can't just be cool like Belle and I sitting on the couch all day and not ride bikes.
With our capybaras, our cats, and no fish.
Yeah. See, how weird is that? Like, I want to have a capybara. 2 of them, actually. They got to be friends, And we're working on it because I got a good deal. It's going to be neat.
Do you have to get those fixed?
Yeah, they all come like where I'm getting them. Everything's done already.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Otherwise, you would probably have to do that. All right. It is the world's largest rodent. Just to let you guys know that. Coming up, if we have time, we're going to do Sky King. We might have to do it next hour, but it is fascinating. It's a new documentary coming out on Hulu in 14 days. And I'm telling you, it is a trip. It really is in what this guy did. We'll talk about that straight ahead. Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7. Busy Bee wants to make sure your last day to get it in under the wire when it comes to, yes, getting that Yeti Tundra cooler for free. What do you need to do? 16-SEER, high-efficiency HVAC, or whole home repipe. If you get it this month, still have a chance, you're going to get yourself a Yeti Tundra 45 cooler absolutely free. TVA rebates, they got you handled. They're going to take care of everything. That includes for your tune-up and replacements. And even still the great opportunity to grab yourself a Beehive Club membership because they keep you running all year, keep you humming all year long. Busy Bee does. Priority scheduling, discounted repairs, free annual HVAC and plumbing checks, extended warranties. You name it, they do it all for you. They're going to treat you like family. That's what they do. Busy Bee. They're going to give you peace of mind knowing your equipment is always running at its absolute best. It's the easiest way to save money, avoid breakdown, and protect your home. Who is it? Busy Bee. Call them today. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833 or visit busybeehvac.com today. All right, couple days from now, that's Thursday, for those of you not keeping score. 5:30 our time, our good friends over there at Bulwark Capital doing a free live webinar called Cutting Through the Market Noise. AI, crypto, tech, they're going to talk about it all. How does the war affect your retirement, your investments, and what can they do? Bulwark has been crushing it over for quite a while, but since last January, they're through the roof. Why is that? Because they were prepared to get in front of things, because the way that they do stuff is just so much different. First and foremost, it's about protecting what you already have, risk management, lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. And then it's all about how they look at investing, using real fundamentals of value investing. That's what helps cut through the market noise. Free. It is this Thursday, 5:30, Cutting Through the Market Noise live webinar. My friends at Bulwark Capital. Sign up today at knowyourriskpodcast.com and subscribe to Zach's Daily Market Recap. That's knowyourriskpodcast.com for Bulwark Capital Management. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. Investment involved risks not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 2648.
Well, like everything else lately, look for air travel to cost more. We'll have a story on that. Also, there's a new jobs report out there, and we'll have details on that as well. That's all coming up at 1 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
We're going to talk about the Sky King next hour because it deserves a little bit more than just a blurb, because it was so fascinating about the guy who stole the airplane. The airplane.
He was either suicidal or just a really bad planner.
He was nuts. He was not well. I think in the listening to them talk, you can decipher that not well in the head. Not well at all in the head. A lot of you are to each their own, because you get the whole thing with the Disney adults is everybody, they think they're weird. But when you sit back and you think about it, it's like, no weirder than anybody else, right? We're all a little bit odd.
I just personally, I've been to Disney World and I've lived outside of Orlando, and the thought of going out in that heat to wander around in those crowds just to try to get on, certain rides, and then you want to have to pay for overpriced food. It's just, it stresses me just to think about possibly doing it.
Yeah, I could see that. And I've been to Disneyland 1,000 times. I don't know, because I lived right across the street from it for years. We had passes as kids growing up all the time, but because it was super cheap. And they used to have a special pass in the summer where after 5 o'clock, it was free to come. And the pass was nothing. It was like $60 for the summer, $59.90 for Southern California residents. Now they would never think about it. Now it's like $8,000, right? Because they try to discourage the locals, because the locals are what they say makes an annoyance for everybody else coming to visit.
Did you see where they canceled Pride Day?
They did?
Yeah.
Why?
They're not doing it anymore. Couldn't get corporate sponsors for it.
Oh. We just had Pride Day for our hockey team last week.
That's something they were doing
for years. By the way,
way back.
There shouldn't be a shock that Disney has Pride Day. Like, of all the places, we're like, I really don't care for that. That's a given. Just go to Disney.
But that was something, I think they started it in the early 80s, and, back when nobody was doing that kind of thing, and they just quit.
Yeah. That's, it's become, because like everything, it's become such a political hot potato that everybody stays as far away from something anymore as possible. No doubt about that. Coming up, a lot of good stuff to get to. We're going to talk about that lady who got mistaken by AI. I don't think it was Claude. It was probably Timmy. They got to have a funny one named that. What's the name of your, are you working with Claude? No. What do you work at OpenAI? You're not OpenAI? What do you, ChatGPT? No. I'm working with Corky.
Corky wears a helmet.
Oh, Lord. We're going to talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Bench, Super Talk 99.7.
It is 1 p.m., and I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. A full weather forecast is coming up. As the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, President Trump, he's telling other countries to either buy the oil from us here in the U.S. or build up some courage and just take it from the strait. ABC's Karen Travers reports.
President Trump now says he believes the Strait of Hormuz will, quote, automatically open when the U.S. ends its military operations against Iran. He told the New York Post in a phone interview Tuesday the U.S. won't be there too much longer, saying it's, quote, total obliteration. But when asked about a Wall Street Journal report that he's considering ending the war without the strait reopening, the president sidestepped and said, quote, I don't think about it, to be honest. But on Monday, the president threatened to bomb power plants, oil wells, Karg Island, and possibly the country's desalination plants if the strait did not immediately open.
New data showing the war in Iran has pushed jet fuel prices up to levels that haven't been seen in quite some time. The average price on February 27th was $2.50 a gallon for the jet fuel. Well, this week it's $4.62 a gallon. ABC's Alex Stone has more on what that means for the rest of us.
Airlines are scrambling to find ways to make up for rapidly increasing jet fuel prices as a result of the war in Iran. Fuel makes up about a quarter of most airlines' operating budgets. United says ticket prices are going up and need to go up by about 20% to offset the current increase. JetBlue is increasing its checked bag fees to offset higher fuel prices, and American and Delta say they have to make up for each spending $400 million more in fuel already since the start of the war.
We now take the latest look at the nation's employment figures. It shows a job market that refuses to budge. With that, here's Jim Ryan.
The Labor Department's Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, JOLTS report, shows the number of available positions last month little changed at just under 7 million. 4.8 million Americans landed jobs, that's the lowest since April of 2020, while 5 million quit, were laid off, or were fired.
That is the latest news. Weather's on the way. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Happy Tuesday. Hot takes all around for everybody. Sports of the program is brought to you by NCAA, National Certified of Arms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. 645. That lady that got popped for nothing. So you think about it. You're in Tennessee. I think she's a grandma.
She is.
Just sitting around, right? I don't think she's ever been anywhere. I don't think she's ever been on a plane or anything in her life. Just, just living her life. Just, that's it. All of a sudden, there's a red flag. We've got this person. Who is it? It's Nana Gums. She's the perpetrator. Says AI. Conky.
Go get it.
What's wrong with your thing? Leave it alone. It's fine. So this poor lady's just chilling. And they come knocking on her door in like mid-July. Hey, they think this is you. She's like, what? Next thing you know, the day before Thanksgiving, the marshals arrest her for some massive scheme
that she had nothing to do with.
That she perpetrated in the Dakotas. So there she goes, right? Like she's taken, like it's like the first time she'd been on an airplane. They take her on up. And much like the ridiculousness here, what was it? What was that guy's name? Or that city, Perry?
Yeah, it was he was arrested by Perry County, but he didn't live in Perry County.
This is, this lady gets arrested. So they take her up there. And she is let's be honest, she has no idea what the hell's going on. Facial recognition, right? So you've got this lady, this poor lady, Angela Lips. She's 50. They said, you've committed bank fraud. Angela, you look like the mastermind. You, right, in your Doobie Brothers T-shirt, I could tell immediately, crypto queen.
She was behind that massive heist on, what was it, BitBite?
Yeah. So what they said was she was accused of bank fraud with a fake U.S. Army military ID to take out thousands of dollars between April and May in North Dakota. This is last year. So they get her, right? So according to Lips, she was arrested in Tennessee on July 14th for a probation violation. She remained in custody in there until they decided that we're going to ship her up to North Dakota. And they notified the Cass County Sheriff Office, hey, she's waived extradition because she's never been on an airplane.
She got a free plane ride on tax dollars.
So she'd like to head on up there. So she goes, and on Halloween, she makes her first appearance, right? Who, by the way, having no idea why she's there. She's never been to either of the Dakotas, let alone the northern one. She was not aware while she was in custody what was going on. And then all of a sudden, some stuff starts to happen, right? First of all, so she's in jail, no bail, from July. Then they move her up there in October, all the way till Christmas Eve because of AI.
That lawsuit's going to be sweet.
Yes. So then what happens is the local station there, local yokel station, W whatever it is, TYZAM 55, blah, 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 does this expose because they got a Freedom of Information Act, and they find out they knew. So the people that brought her up, see, she was staying at the Cass County Jail, so she's staying there. But the people that brought her up and were going to prosecute her, there have been emails going back and forth, and they were like, yeah, I don't know if this is the girl. I'm not sure she's the one that came up with the masterminding of this. So there were emails flying around saying, probably not it. And the way they responded was very similar to the way that the sheriff responded in Perry County. Because that sheriff was also, he just was a Muppet.
That's not something that we do on a regular basis, and I know that kind of sounds weird, but it's not our case. I also know that there was a booking report that was sent out to their agency that had Miss Lips on that particular booking report that was shared with the whole agency. So there are a number of ways that they were alerted.
They were alerted. Okay, I get it. So you were alerted, and you knew as well, and you guys decided not to call over to somebody and go, hey, Fargo folks, I don't think she's it. We're getting emails saying she's not in. I got this lady in my my cell here. What am I going to do with her?
It's got to be her. AI said so.
AI said so.
At the end of the day, I mean, it's not the responsibility lies with the investigative agency. It's not the West Fargo Police Department. It's not the Cass County Sheriff's Office. It's the investigative agency, in this particular case, the Fargo Police Department, to make sure that they're monitoring suspects in their case and investigating those appropriately.
When you're holding somebody in jail,
yes,
you have to have a justification for it. And if you feel you no longer have that justification, release them. Don't pass the buck.
Yeah. All you have to say is call over and go, look, we've got emails from your people who are doubting whether or not this lady's it, and we don't think it's it. On top of that, her attorney has putting stuff out there showing that she was nowhere near any of the Dakotas, let alone south, north, west, east. So she's been nowhere near this. And your thing was, well, that's not our job to do. Yeah, but if you knew somebody was innocent, you wouldn't want them just sticking around in your jail, because now you've been dragged into this because you're an idiot. AI is a wonderful tool till it eats us. But still, until then, there's opportunities here. But it doesn't mean that they said, well, we use other skills to decide also whether or not we're going to arrest somebody. So nobody inside of the department, the four of you, right, whose most famous thing is the movie Fargo, right, where you had sex with the little fella, and then there was the wood chipper, all the weed they did. Nobody thought, they took one look at her and go, I don't think she's it.
I mean, I feel bad for her, but I also feel bad for the Fargo taxpayers.
Yes.
Because they are about to fork over a lot of money.
Yes, they are. And I'm like looking at her, and I'm looking at, and look, I don't want to be judgy, but I'm going to be. You ever look at somebody and go, yeah, there's no way they did it, right? There's no way you could look at me and go, there's no way Chad could ever dunk a basketball. I wouldn't take that as an offense. It's true. I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, there's no way. There's no way she did it.
It's just, every time it happens, it amazes me that you will have certain police departments, and it's happened all over the country, that will arrest somebody based on very thin evidence, and somebody can come in and go, well, he was in a coma in this hospital at that time. I'm sorry, we're still under arrest. Have to prove himself innocent.
Yeah, the common sense of that is, it amazes me, because they had all the proof. It's like when they arrested the dude here in Perry County. You arrested this guy, and then you held him out without bail? For what?
Well, he had bail. It was $2 million.
$2 million. But remember, and it was interesting, had the noise not been raised, right, had Reason not done a quick article on that guy, and then all of a sudden it got to a local thing and it started to blow up, that guy would have sat through Christmas into January if we ever got a hearing. And common sense said that guy wasn't talking about shooting up a school.
Well, the sheriff, I'm sure he was convinced that he was. You have to be absolutely an idiot to think that guy was talking about shooting up a school. They did it because he was anti-Trump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they thought, what, they were going to get bonus points? Like Trump might call me. Stay by your phone.
We'll show you to shoot your mouth off.
Oh, stay by your phone. Stay by your phone. It's going to be great. Trump's going to call you at any moment. Oh, you idiots. Now what's it going to cost? What's that going to cost? Like, what's it going to cost this little town here? What's it going to cost Fargo and everybody to pay this lady off?
Millions.
Yeah. What is it going to cost Perry? How much is that going to end up costing them for silencing that guy and intruding on his civil rights? Because you thought, and by the way, you should hold the idiot. If anybody texted you, if anybody called you because you saw that on Facebook, Marketplace or Neighborhood or whatever the hell people go to, and thought that person was going to shoot up a school, or this lady was and that went through your mind, you should also be held accountable for that. This lady. I mean, I'm trying to be mean again. Like when you see her, do you think, mastermind? No.
Yeah, you look at her and think, somebody's grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, maybe a little harder than normal. Chad. Just, you know, throwing it out there. TMZ, we love them. Why is that? Because of what they're doing. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but TMZ is going hard for anybody that is a congressperson that is on vacation.
So it didn't take long for people to send us photographs of various members of Congress who are kind of living it up in some cases. We have Lindsey Graham, senator from South Carolina, at Disney World. He is both in Fantasyland, some say all of Congress is in Fantasyland, but he is there literally at Disney World, also in a brunch line.
That word brunch is going to become very important here. So I want to tell you guys that.
His staff tells us, actually, he told us directly that he was in Florida for a conference with Steve Witkoff and other Trump officials, but that was in South Florida. He then flew to Orlando and then spent Friday night there walking around the park and then having brunch on Saturday morning.
Now, why is brunch important? It's a very simple thing. My first producer, like full-time producer, my buddy Jeremy. Jeremy is a Gold Star. Gay. Gold Star gay. Just want to remind everybody, Gold Star gay. Never dated a woman. Never kissed a woman. He is super. And he used to tell me every day, Chad, you do realize brunch is the gayest meal of the day. And that fits perfect with Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey's in Fantasyland. And he was at Disney.
Lindsey's in a lot of places. So they go hard at all of these. Here's the thing. All you have to do, because now I'm getting tons of pictures of him riding the, did you see him, by the way? He went to he got, what's the long-haired blonde one who throws her hair out? Tangled. He was like, yay.
Rapunzel.
Yeah, but the movie was called Tangled.
Oh.
But, or what? One of these, and he's like swinging around this thing. Like, I mean, like we could tell what it is, right?
He had the beat going in his head.
He did. He had the beat going. But it doesn't matter where you are. TMZ will find you.
We got Robert Garcia in Vegas, and he was saddled up at the bar with a friend. He tells us he was there in Vegas to visit his dad. He also said he understands why we're doing this and that they all shouldn't have left Washington, D.C. So he kind of owned up to it.
And he also hammered Marsha Blackburn for trying to skip out, like, before everything was done, and she had the bodyguard in front, you know, of her walking, like, and the guy's trying to take film, and they're just perfectly aligned, you know, and because he wants to get a picture of old Marsha.
Well, let's not remember, Marsha has a 25% approval rating, but 58% of the people in Tennessee are supposedly going to vote for her. That makes so much sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But why does TMZ do something like this? I'll tell you why. Because Mark Garagos and Harvey Levin have put together a group that I think we should think about doing.
Something has to change. And, you know, we have talked about what we call the OUTA movement, OWTA, out with their asses, voting everybody out, even the ones you like, to reset things and make it clear to the next group. Here is our expectation that you will keep the government open, that federal workers will get paid. And if you don't do that, we're going to throw you out like we threw your predecessors out. So that seems to be the only, maybe last resort of regaining some power.
I love that. We got to do that. The OUTA movement. So, got to get them out. Got to get them out. It's absolutely a must. That's the only currency they understand in their world is our currency is our vote, and we could take our vote and move it somewhere else. And we need to start doing that and start voting these people out who do nothing, who are more interested in the theatrics in the political world than the actual do something in the political world.
And the ability to grift.
Yeah, because, well, that's where it's at, the grifting. I mean, and this administration, sorry, they're the griftiest you've ever seen. They are beyond grifty at this point.
I think that's a little unfair. I think that they just don't try to hide it as much
Well,
as...
probably they don't try to hide it. But yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, they don't try. Well, yeah, I mean, they're just open. I mean, look, just give him $1 million, you're going to get a pardon. That's it. $1 million, give him a pardon. There you go. I mean, that's the kind of silliness. And he doesn't care if these people trade. I mean, Pete Hegseth's under investigation now because apparently they tried to buy a whole bunch of funds that had to do with the military industrial complex right before the attack in Iran.
You think Fauci had to throw Biden any cash?
That's a good question. That's a good question. No.
A little something. Just a little something to show respect. We don't give these things away for free, Fauci. Remember, you're the science.
Yeah, I am the science. No, I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, was there something funneled to one of his quote-unquote funds that they all have there, which is...
I do science.
Okay, thank you, Rick Sanchez, the greatest of all Sanchez's. Coming up, Hot Take Tuesday. We get your hot takes right in front of you. Plus, we just got a text message from somebody. Oh, we're going to talk about it. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
Breaks.
Live and on demand on YouTube and Rumble. Subscribe to Super Talk TV.
Relief Factor. Somebody texted me yesterday. Said, Chad, do you really use it? Absolutely use it. I take it every single day. It is awesome. It's naturally formulated, so you can take it every single day, which is great. And what this is going to help you with, this is going to attack those areas of your body and those pathways that have issues with inflammation, right? Your joints and your muscles in particular. So, just from the day-to-day living, as we get a little bit older, we get a little bit sore, right? Slows us down a little bit. Relief Factor is going to help with that. Omega-3 fatty acids, resveratrol. It's got black pepper extract, which helps your body absorb more of the Relief Factor. It is awesome. I'm working out more. I'm doing more. I'm feeling better. Thank you, Relief Factor. Try yours now. $19.95. All right? They believe in it so much, as do I. They're willing to lose money on the first 3-week quick start. Just $19.95 because they know it's going to work and you're going to want more of it. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF for Relief Factor.
At a press briefing today, the Pentagon insisting the U.S. objectives are being met in the Iranian war, and the Supreme Court striking down Colorado's ban on so-called conversion therapy, and it's turning some heads. We'll have those stories coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, baby, baby. We're going to talk about that coming up a little bit. Every single Tuesday, we rock it like it's hot because it is Hot Take, Hot Take, Hot Take Tuesday. It's a little Hot Take Tuesday. By the way, before we get into that, Belle and I received a very disturbing text a little while ago with our good friend Ken, who you guys know and love on the show, with a giant, huge catfish that he had just caught.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
We called it the white trash tuna.
Which does not make up for not having the boat to go get the real tuna.
Well, he says he does have the boat. His Elantra was fine. Man, that was a huge fish. That thing was the same size as Ken.
That was at least, it looked like it was probably 15 inches.
Yeah, that thing was big. It was, it's hard to tell because Ken's not a giant person, as we know. But it was, that's a big old catfish. Oh, my Lord. Good for him. I'm glad he's having fun. Left us here. I want to know what you're talking about.
Can you throw that up on your socials?
Yeah, I'm going to throw that up on the socials here in a second. You guys go check out Ken and his big old fish that he just caught. Hot Take Tuesday. We do it every single week. My hot take is hiking is stupid and mountain biking is also as stupid as hiking because a vast majority of people who own a mountain bike have never once in their life been on a mountain and biked. Ever.
Or ever will.
Or ever will. You thought you were because the guy at work does, and you want to be cool because you think the chicks are going to like you at work, right? And your awful job that you have that you sucks the soul out of you every day. So you bought one thinking you're going to be cool, and you know what? You don't. And you're not because you're never going to ride. Because if you did, because we've seen you throw a softball, you're going to hurt yourself.
And there are no chicks hanging out up on the mountain.
No. Well, they are. They're all walking because they like to hike. Hiking's fun.
You're not gonna run into them.
No, God,
you're not gonna have a conversation. You're not gonna get them to go out with you.
And you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall,
and we're gonna laugh.
Yeah, they're gonna wear those white tube socks, right? And your cargo pants and your goofy shoes, right? That you think are cool, and your helmet, which automatically rules you out of most things, and it looks hilarious. So don't do it. Okay, we know it. So stop it and stop trying to pretend like you actually go to a mountain and bike. Bill,
I got through the whole 70s without a helmet.
Yeah, we all did.
Fish.
Barely.
Fish, I like them. I like it baked. I like it fried. I just don't like it as a pet because it's useless.
Oh, man.
If you have an aquarium, all those animals are pointless. If you have a little betta fish in a bowl, pointless. If you have a goldfish, useless.
But we did rule that an octopus is a whole nother level.
Octopus is not a fish.
Yeah. But they're a whole nother level of just it's inside of the aquarium.
Yes.
It's a whole nother level.
But if you have a octopus inside your aquarium, the odds are the octopus is going to figure out how to get out.
All the time. Mine did, man. I couldn't keep that thing in at all. So I had a blue ring, and they were, if you don't know anything about blue rings.
Those are poisonous.
They will kill grown men in bunches but he would get out, he would wander around. I'd come out, I'd look, and they'd be all over the floor, and he's still back in there. And you're like, really? Really? No matter what I did.
So he took a stroll and then just climbed back in?
Take a stroll and go back in. I went up to the Seattle Aquarium when I was going to take a cruise to go to Alaska. And the day before, I go, I'm going to go to the Seattle Aquarium. And so I'm in there and talking to this lady. She gives tours, but her and I are just chatting. She said, these aquariums, massive aquariums, one side it's got the kind of stuff you'd find in like a pool or something like that, and it's got all the crustaceans, got all these kind of things. And the other side is a big aquarium with lots of big fish, and they had a big octopus in here. And she said, fish next door were disappearing, and they couldn't figure it out. It just kept disappearing. They're like, what happened to the fish? And they thought, well, there's other big fish in there, so they've been eaten. Come to find out, they finally set up a camera. The octopus was squeezing through something the size of basically a keyhole, crawling across, climbing up into the other big aquarium, grabbing fish, consuming them, and then going back and then getting into the other thing.
Well, there's no fish DoorDash.
No, there is no fish DoorDash. There is none. Zero, zilch, nada. You can't do that. Speaking of DoorDash, I got a guy that lost his job. We'll talk about that. Sky King, very interesting story. We're going to talk about that as well. If you guys haven't heard the story, you might remember it vaguely, but they got a new documentary coming out called Sky King. We're going to talk a bit about that as well. A bunch of other good stuff on the way. Taste the Chad Benson Show, Sabertown, 99.7.
It is 1:30, and I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. A weather forecast coming up here in a few minutes. The Pentagon says the next few days in the Iran war will indeed be pivotal, and they insist that the U.S. objectives are being met. General Dan Kane, he's chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He said the U.S. is targeting not just military sites, but nuclear research sites, warehouses, and factories.
We continue to deliver precision strikes against key manufacturing nodes, component storage sites, research facilities deep within Iranian territory. And over the past 30 days, we've struck more than 11,000 targets.
In light of the war in Iran, some airlines are warning of higher ticket prices, surprise, surprise, and the national average of a gallon of gas has surpassed $4. Here's ABC's Sam Sweeney.
Jet fuel prices have doubled since the beginning of the war. United Airlines says it's going to cost them about $11 billion annually if these price hikes continue, and they are going to be passing that on to the consumer. They've already raised many of their fares, 15 to 20%. Some airlines are putting in fuel surcharges for their international destinations, and in some places they're totaling more than $300 to $400 per ticket.
Now for the Supreme Court. In an 8-1 decision, the U.S. Supreme Court striking down Colorado's ban on so-called conversion therapy. They're calling it a violation of therapist Kaylee Childs' free speech rights under the First Amendment. After today's decision, Childs called the decision a win for free speech.
I'm grateful that my speech is protected. But I'm even more excited that families and children seeking access to counseling that respects biological reality will be able to get the help that they need.
That is the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Dun, 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 dun. One of the craziest things to ever happen, and arguably one of the starts of the downfall of mankind as we know it, is when they put the camera on the front of the phone instead of the back of the phone, where it should have been, always, and never moved. Not give you options, because that way you could see yourself. And that way you could decide, I want to be an influencer. So this is a guy who's not a fan of MAGA or Trump.
Hey there to my Trump supporters. This is your local friendly DoorDasher, and I just want to let you know that if I see a MAGA sign out front of your house, I'm going to take the utmost care to make sure that when I deliver your order, I throw it out the f***ing window, you piece of shit. F*** you.
Now you're saying to yourself, wow, that's the worst DoorDash person ever. I wonder what he's doing now.
So I guess I went viral on alt-right Twitter, and these motherfuckers actually got me deactivated from DoorDash. But if you guys DoorDash and you're not MAGA, maybe you should stop, because they support MAGA heavily, like very heavily. So yeah, if y'all could help me out and, I don't know, drop me a follow, drop a comment, just a like even, I don't know, say something to get in between the noise, because I'm tired of these bots and these MAGAs being on my page. Get the out of here. Go find something better to do. Like, y'all got me from DoorDash now. You happy? Like,
you wanted that. You did that on purpose. Do you know how easy it is to rile people up? It is the easiest thing in the world to rile people up. It is so easy to do. You got everything you wanted. It was perfect. Not only did you get to say whatever you wanted to say, blah, 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 you know, that kind of crap. You also got more likes, more clicks, more shares, little street cred in your world. It worked out perfectly. I would have told them, if I'm DoorDash, I'm like, I'm going to make you work longer. You like that? Because that's what people want. They're not interested in you're not interested in having a conversation with anybody when it comes to, that's what I tell everybody. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. If you're going to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. If you're going to be full of hate, that's just don't. It's not going to get anything done or anybody anywhere. The economy is going to shift people from one side to the other. But as far as trying to get somebody on the crazy left or the crazy far right to ever come over to quote unquote your side, it's going to have to be an experience that they didn't like that will get them there. But demeaning them, saying horrible things about them, that's what happens. You're not going to win friends. That's not going to win people over. And that's why I tell everybody online, don't fight with anybody online over it. Just say, oh yeah, okay, cool. Because you're not going to win there. The movie's called Sky King, and it is such a trip. Now, this happened in, 2018. And if you guys don't remember the incident, there was a guy, his name is Richard Bebo Russell. April 14th, this movie comes out, but this happened in March of that year, I think, or August, something like that. He works at Horizon, he works at the airport. I think he does baggage or something like that. And what happens is he jumps on a Horizon Air Q400, $33 million, and decides he's taking it for a spin. What? Yeah, he's taking it for a spin, and it was fascinating. But this movie, this documentary, has all the stuff from the time he was in the air till it crashes. It is where they're talking back and forth, trying to figure out what the hell's happened.
Hey, you're probably going to send some jets out this way, huh?
Well, Rich, that's not the plan right now, but can you just tell me the altitude you're at?
Yeah, I kind of think that's a lie, man. If I were you, I'd be sending the jets right away, because for all you know, I could be a bad guy. Or I kind of am a bad guy.
He could never be a bad guy. He was always a good guy. He had a heart of gold.
Here's the weird thing. His buddy's like, I have no idea I got in the air.
How did he get that plane in the air by himself? I couldn't believe it.
I play video games, so, I know what I'm doing a little bit.
I don't think that's the way that works. But he got it in the air. And I've talked to several people who are pilots. It is fascinating how he was able to get that thing in the air. Not only get it in the air, but then he was doing maneuvers. But Bell and I were talking about this before the show. When you listen to the conversations between him and the tower, it's fascinating because you can hear his excitement and then you can hear him, start to realize. Because I don't think he had any idea how it was going to end. I don't think he had any idea. Like, could he land it? Could he not land it? Is it, what did he want to crash on purpose? Was he over with the world? I don't think he had any idea.
Western headquarters, requesting military assistance on that primary target. He just made a threat.
Yeah, this guy's pretty messed up. He sounds like a really bad dude here.
Western observed, and we're scrambling Portland.
Thank you.
Rock 4-1, active air scramble in the descent 8000.
Rock 4-1, Seattle approach, roger, and the CTAC altimeter 29906.
The fighters were going to be launched off of Portland no matter what. It's protocol. If you steal a commercial airliner, there's going to be fighters on your tail at some point in time. But to have fighter jets blow an American citizen out of the air, I didn't want that to happen.
Yeah, she was the one that was flying next to him. But when you listen to him here...
Is she the one that fired?
No, she didn't fire, but they were going to have that. The fear was she was going to have to
so
blow.
he crashed before they even bothered.
Yeah. He also did a barrel roll.
Do you have an idea of how much fuel you have left?
Holy smokes, this is going down quick. I got a lot of people that care about me. It's going to disappoint them.
15 minutes of fuel.
One of my engines is going out or something.
Oh my God, he's going to crash.
Oh, man, I'm sick. I want you to whisper sweet nothing through my ear.
I don't think I can do that for you.
Damn it, people's lives are at stake here. Hey, you think this thing can do a barrel roll?
Trying to figure out how to use the autopilot first.
Boring.
He's going upside down. Holy! Can we cut the cameras?
This is probably like jail time for life, huh?
And you see him barrel roll it. And then like he's...
What kind of plane was it?
It was a Q400. Horizon Q400.
That's
Horizon.
a jet, right?
Yeah. It was $33 million. I mean, let's take a look at this thing. Right? So
honestly, the weirdest thing about all of it is hearing how nonchalant, to a degree, how nonchalant he is and just accepting of, hey, well, you probably send somebody else to shoot me down, right? Well, you probably should.
And I think the thought process was he didn't know what he was going to do because he wasn't in his right mind. Like, I don't think he wanted to hurt anybody. But I also think there was a thought, like, when you hear, could you just whisper sweet nothings in my ear? Because he knew he was going to die. And I think he wanted somebody to comfort him in those last moments. And it's tough because you're listening to a person who is having a mental breakdown. But he's going through all of the emotions in the space of a flight.
Yeah.
Where he's just zipping around. And it's a sad, situation because by all accounts, he seemed to have an okay life. And then out of nowhere, he just literally runs, jumps in the plane, taxis, and takes off.
What airport did he take off from?
This was in, it was just outside of Portland. It was SeaTac. He was at SeaTac.
I would be interested to know how quickly the head of security at SeaTac was fired.
That's a good question.
Because if somebody wasn't fired, they should have been.
Well, here's the thing. He had every right to be. He worked at the airport. So he was, I think he was a baggage handler. So he was allowed to be on the ground. So, but and that's why I always say when everybody worries about like, well, they could bomb us and stuff, worry about who's putting your baggages on more than who's on the airplane. That's what you need to worry about. But you can hear him start to just, and he totally barrel rolls. He wants to see the thing. And people are like, whoa, he can do that. And
it's weird that he asks the question and then just tries it anyway.
Yeah. So 2 McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagles were scrambled. They made radio contact with him. He was the sole occupant, and he described himself as a broken guy. who's got a lot of, some screws loose. It was an hour and 15 minutes that he took off and finally did the barrel roll before crashing it purposefully into a sparsely populated area, Ketron Island, just by the Puget Sound.
So he still had fuel?
Not much, because he was burning through the fuel fast.
So he knew he was going to die, so he just went ahead and...
So there was no collateral damage. He was a sole fatality. And you could hear that he didn't want to hurt anybody. And you could hear that in there. But it's fascinating. He'd been part of a tow team which repositions aircraft at the airport apron for about 4 years. They said he was a quiet guy and everybody seemed to like him. Didn't have any problems. So they said, the CEO of Horizon said, look, the company knew him. Knew he didn't have a license, but they had no problems with him. There wasn't any, there was no precursor, no warnings that hey, at any moment, it's a Tuesday, dude might snap and take an airplane.
He's been rambling on about, stealing a plane and ramming it into a building.
Yeah. He had no, this is what the Beck, who is the CEO, said. He had no pilot's license, but we all marveled at the incredible maneuvers that he did and did know how he did it.
Well, it sounds like when he said, I've played video games, it sounds like he had enough knowledge from using a simulator that he at least knew how to try to pull them off.
I follow several pilots, and they'll tell you this. By the way, they train you in simulators now, and one of these guys that I follow, his first time flying a 737 was the first time flying a 737. He got licensed, he got all of his stuff, and all the inside of a simulator. The first time he actually took control of it, not where he was a co-pilot or anything else, was when he was actually piloting it for the first time. That's how good they are.
And he'd probably done a couple 100 hours in the simulator before he ever even got on a plane.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It comes out on the 16th on Hulu. Who knew? You do. Hulu. The title of the movie is called Sky King. So, and somebody said, I think he knew he was going to crash the plane before he got off the ground. You know what? I thought that, but there's times when you listen, because I had to cut it up, where when you listen to it, I think there's a thought process, because he's worried for his family. And he said, I don't want my family and friends, not to love me and like me, and I'm going to hurt a lot of people for this. I think there was a portion that wanted to, but I think he knew getting it up in the air is a whole different game than landing it. Although, man, you just did a full barrel roll on a twin prop, because it's a twin prop. So
I thought it was a jet.
Yeah, but it is, because it's a Horizon. So there's, you can get a bunch of, people in there, but it's got the
well, no, a jet actually, a jet engine has air intake versus using the propellers.
What's the other thing they said? Yeah, because that's what ended up. Dash 8 Q4. How many people does it hold? What's it go for, by the way? 33 million brand new. What do you have? You have enough? Well, we're saving up anyways, because we got to get ourselves. But when you go and look at it, Bell, go and look at the cockpit. Dude got it in the air. That's pretty amazing. That is. And not only get it in the air, but to have it in the air for that long and do stuff with it. Pretty awesome.
Depending on the layout, it can hold between 70 and 78 passengers. And if it's set up for high density, they can take up to 90.
Well, not the bigger people, because they don't do that anymore. For those of you guys don't know. By the way, yesterday we'll talk about the Southwest has their new people of size rule, where if you're a little bit larger, you might have to buy two. And it was Finnair, New Zealand Air, and it was one other airlines that were essentially asking for volunteers who were willing to weigh themselves. So as they were trying to balance for fuel efficiency and whatnot. So think about that. Coming to a town near you, at an airport near you. All right, coming up, who knows what we're going to talk about? It's going to be fun. If you missed any of the show, shame on you. Grab that podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show, Saber Town 99.7.
Shame, shame, shame. You should have known better.
to noon and streaming on the SuperTalk 99.7 WTN app.
Could AI dent your retirement and your investments? Could the bubble pop? AI, crypto, all of these things. Let's not forget about what's going on with the war. Talk to my buddies over at Bulwark Capital, and they're doing something special on Thursday night, a couple days from now, 5:30 our time. Opportunity, sit down and listen to them and talk about how well they have done, and they've done extremely well over the last several months. You know, they're always doing well, but I'll tell you what, since last year, they're up an insane amount. And why is that? Because of the way that they handle things. And their cutting through the market noise webinar is amazing. They're going to show you what they're about: lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. But they're also going to show you how, through the values of fundamental investing, how you're able to look globally and to expand your portfolio and to grow. It's absolutely free. It's a webinar. My buddy Zach's hosting it. It's called Cutting Through the Market Noise. It's a webinar happening this Thursday. It is happening 5:30 our time. Sign up today at knowyourriskpodcast.com. Knowyourriskpodcast.com. Investment advisors served off the Trick Financial LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. Investments fall risk, not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trick 2648.
Prepare to dig deeper in your pockets if you want to travel by air. Is anyone really surprised by that? Also, we'll have more details on that Tiger Woods car crash. We'll have all of that coming up at 2 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Tiger wasn't drunk, but maybe. Did he have weed in his pocket? No.
No, he had a car accident. He didn't jump into a wood chipper.
What did he have? Pills. Pharmaceuticals. Man, he's a mess.
Well, he had to be smoking pot beforehand because obviously that's a gateway drug to pills.
So gateway. Just couldn't believe the gateway-ness of this goes on to it. The gateway-ness of the drugs. The gateway. That's what I said, though. Didn't I say yesterday? I said, he's got to pop so many pills because just to get through the day after playing, he's got to pop.
How many surgeries has the guy had now?
That's a great question. Little whip
9?
Oh, goodness me. I would say at least 9. Yeah, but, I wouldn't be surprised if it's more. His surgery history. And remember the kind of surgeries that he has. Oh, dude, 9 he wishes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. In some way, shape, or form.
Wow.
Some of them are full surgeries. Some of them are just like cleaning up your knee because, But he had a left knee in 94, left knee in 2002, left knee in 2008, left knee again, full reconstruction. Back, these are the bad ones, 2014, 2015, and 2017. Left knee again in 2019. 5th back procedure in 2021. Right leg, that was the crash. Right ankle, a few years later. Back to the back again. Then the Achilles tendon, because he ruptured it. And then back to the back again in October of last year. Not counting for the procedures on his shoulder and several other things with his Achilles that they had to go and redo.
He's a mess.
A mess, I say a mess. Coming up, hour number 3 of the big program. More on your hot takes. Talk a little bit about Iran, among other things. We got a bunch of other good stuff to talk about. It's what we do. It's who we are, baby. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
It is 2 p.m., and I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. The full forecast is coming up. Well, yep, you're going to be paying more to fly to that summer vacation or spring vacation, whatever the case may be. United says airfare could jump by as much as 20%. At JetBlue, the increases are seen in checked bag fees.
$4 per gallon. Analysts say it's the largest one-month increase on record at the pump as the war in Iran rages on. Another oil tanker coming under attack. The tanker from Kuwait was reportedly carrying 2 million barrels of crude oil.
That's ABC's Lionel Moyes. Back here in Tennessee, a woman has died from her injuries after she fell off a cliff at the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. Here's News 2's Nicole Smith.
The 65-year-old woman fell about 60 feet on the Alum Cave Trail. This happened Saturday. The 4.5-mile trail is popular, and the Park Service warns it does get steep past Arch Rock.
A day before that incident, there was a sudden rock slide along a road there. 2 park visitors were put in the hospital when some boulders struck their vehicles. Well, we're learning now a little bit more about golfer Tiger Woods' latest car wreck. It happened last week on Jupiter Island, Florida. And according to an affidavit, Woods may have been under the influence of a substance. He was arrested last week and charged with DUI. We hear now from ABC's Ike Ijachi.
The deputies say that he actually observed several signs of impairment on Woods, including heavy sweating and difficulty performing coordination tests. Woods reportedly had hiccups through the entire investigation. Now, Woods responded by saying that he had had several surgeries on his back and on his legs, and that his ankle actually seizes up whenever he tries to walk. However, when asked to remove his sunglasses, that's when deputies said that his eyes were bloodshot and glassy, and he actually had those dilated pupils.
According to the affidavit, Woods, he stated that he was distracted by his phone, and that caused him to get in that accident. That's the latest news. We've got weather next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
What is up? Happy Tuesday. Sports program brought to you by NCA No. Long-term contracts with National Certified Alarm. Just awesome service. License number 645. I was telling Bell, I said, Bell, do you have Fox on in there? He goes, yeah. I said, dude, that's Mike Pompeo. Mike Pompeo, it looks like, and he's lost so much weight that it's creepy. You know when somebody loses so much weight, they just don't look like themselves anymore? That's what he looks like now. That's what Mike Pompeo looks like at this moment in time. He looks like somebody who looks like you could be related to Mike Pompeo. That was because he's thought about running for president. It worked for him. The weight loss, you know who else is doing it? Pritzker. Pritzker's losing the weight, but not like Pompeo. Pompeo looks like a different human being altogether. It's like a different cat. What are we going to do when it comes to Iran? Basically, Trump came out today and said, if you guys want jet fuel, go get it yourselves. I'm sure it'll change by, within a couple hours. Are we going to go in? Are we not going to go in? You know who would like to, and I didn't get to it yesterday. This is Mark Levin. You guys might not recognize that's his stage name. He also goes by Megyn Kelly's micropenis. He wants us to put the boots on the ground.
Troops on the ground. He said no troops on the ground. I don't remember that in any campaign speech either. But why would we need troops on the ground? Well, there's a lot of reasons, and we wouldn't need 300,000 of them. It's this uranium, too. We've got to get the uranium. If it cannot be destroyed, if it cannot be altered, we got to get it. For the reason I just said. You can make dirty bombs, and over time you can still make sophisticated missiles. So you need to get to the uranium. That's why I'm reading in the paper, we're talking about the 82nd Airborne, we're talking about these various special forces and the various military services and so forth. He's not talking about sending regular army and infantry in by the hundreds of thousands. The men he's talking about, the units he's talking about, they are specialized. And you know what else? I remember from my days in the Reagan administration. Many of them are trained for a moment like this, to try and secure enriched uranium. Many have been trained for moments like this.
Mark Levin, awful human being. That was this weekend that Trump actually truthed out. Go watch what Mark's going to say tonight, the great Mark Levin, and talking about troops on the ground. Well, if we were to go in there and try to get the uranium, what does it look like? Spoke to a military cat earlier today, and this is what he said. And then there's a couple other articles out there, I think including yesterday one in the Wall Street Journal. The process is going to take days. First of all, we've bombed a lot of the places. A lot of it's underground. To get to it, we're going to have to first fly in our troops. And not just special, ops kind of people. We need to fly in combat troops as well. So after we do that and we land, we also have to figure out where we're going to find an excavator to excavate some of this stuff, because we don't have one. We're not flying that thing in just yet. So with all of that going on,
hey, we left a whole lot of that crap in Afghanistan. Maybe we can borrow one from there.
Drive one across. So then we have to dig it up. All the while, our people are going to probably be coming under fire. Now, this could take anywhere between 2 to 3 days, maybe a little bit longer, because we have to locate it. Now, once we find it, it's not as simple as grab it and go, because these things are special. They come in scuba-like things. So we're going to have to take that, but it can't just be our special people that are trained for it. No, we're going to have scientists. They're people who understand how this works. And then we're not going to drive it out of there, but we're also not going to fly it out of their helicopter. So we're going to have to probably have an airstrip. Which, again, you guys don't mind if there's a timeout while we build this so we can escape, right? You guys cool with that? No. This is not a great situation. Everybody realized that. And I still am shaking my head because, today Trump basically came out and told all the Euros, because, what's her name, Meloni over there in Italy, told U.S., you guys can't use our stuff, right? So we're not going to allow you to fly out of here. We're not going to fly over here, which pissed Trump off even more, because that's a big one. The UK is one thing, but, he thought they were tight. And obviously not as tight as he thought. Maybe he thought a little something, like, hey, you know what? Yeah, a little something, But no. So now we're in this situation where you look up and you're like, okay, so what's the best bad option available? Well, if we walk away, which is kind of what he was suggesting earlier today, which is Trump, so you don't take it with a grain of salt. Is he tacoing? Is he playing 18D chess? Is he? I was frustrated. He's got to be. He's got to be frustrated at this situation. How could you not be frustrated at this? Oil prices are growing up, right? We don't want that. I don't know anybody who wants that, because as we were talking about at the, earlier today, if they want, they're going to make everybody's life a living hell. They're fighting. There's two different fights going on. There is the military side, and then there is the economic side. And that's what they're fighting right now, the economic side. So far, we have what? We have released sanctions on Russia, so they're making hundreds of $millions a day. We've released sanctions on Iran, so they're making hundreds of millions of dollars a day. And Trump basically told the Euros, you guys want jet fuel? Buy it from us, or you guys go over there and do it yourself. Just go take it. But us stepping away from this, you then are essentially saying to Iran, it's your strait now. So what are they going to do? Well, hey, Saudi Arabia, are you going to be thrilled by the fact that you have to go pay a toll to maybe get out of there? Probably not.
Especially to a country they hate.
They hate with all get out. So, no, I mean, this is not, what's the best bad option is what everybody's looking for. And is it boots on the ground? I hope it's not boots on the ground. I think we all pray it's not boots on the ground. By the way, according to the latest polls, and Trump's polls, by the way, were abysmal. And here's where Trump's polls are that should, it's not just the, how low they are. The 33% sucks. I mean, we can pretend like, oh, yeah, but it's also when you start breaking down how people feel about certain things, only 6% of people think boots on the ground is a good idea. That is not good for him. And the economic side of things, because Trump has to fight. Yeah, they have to do the war, they have to do the battle, but they have to do the other stuff, which is the politics. And he's looking right now, and he's thinking to himself, man, are we going to get just not, are we going to lose the House and the Senate? Because that's what he's thinking about now. We can't lose the Senate, because then I'm going to be in a whole bunch of trouble.
2 years of gridlock.
2 years of gridlock, 2 years of investigation after investigation, 2 years of making your life a living hell. And it wasn't just the fact that he is 33% is his, approve of his performance. It's also the fact that people who supported him in a major way still support him, but not like they did. Not like they did. And then we haven't even coupled in the cost. So $4 gas now, that's what we're at. What about fertilizer? That's going up. That's going up, 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 up. Are we going to run into a situation where maybe they start thinking to themselves, hey, instead of doing corn this year, I'm going to do soybeans. I don't need that much fertilizer. Are we going to have a humanitarian issue? It's a possibility that we're going to have a lot more, and we're going to start to feel it. So think about what diesel's going to end up. And, I know a lot of people think, well, he's going to take Carg Island. At what point do the Iran say, screw it, go take Carg Island? We're just going to blow it up, and we're going to send gas to $200 a barrel and keep it going. And then you guys are going to be in a situation where you're going to have to answer to your people about why gas is now, oil's $200 a barrel and gas is $8, $9 a gallon. We're going to, what did I say it was going to be if you got up to 500? Because I don't know who was talking about $500. So that would be insane.
Well,
But-
Trump said $500
That's right.
dollar a barrel gas will be a good thing.
Yeah.
And that would mean approximately $20 a gallon.
Yeah, we don't want that. Nobody wants that. And remember, at Australia, they're close to paying like $12 a gallon or something like that. Could you imagine? They would be paying like $60 a gallon for gas. You're not going anywhere.
And everything that you buy that gets brought in by a truck or a plane or anything is going to go through the roof.
Through the roof.
Worse than it is now.
Yeah. So, because it doesn't magically show up on your plate. It doesn't magically get here from some, Amazon ferry. It takes a while to get here. And it's going to go by boat. That's going to be super expensive. Now Japan and South Korea they're starting to rethink, well, I don't know if we can trust what's going on over here. Because of how much Asia, by the way, really relies on oil that comes through the Middle East. Us, not as much. But remember, our people are drilling all over the world, and the thing is they want to sell it on the open market. So, there's a lot of things that go into this, but, Trump's fighting two different sides here. He's got to come back and answer to the people. And the people, I'm not thrilled by $4 a gallon, and I'm sure they're not going to be thrilled if prices for tickets, on airplanes start to continue to go up and away. I don't think anybody is going to be that way. And the question is, for what? Well, because we stopped them from having a nuclear bomb. Well, we haven't gone and got the stuff yet. We had the chance to get it from them, and we decided to go in and attack them anyways. So does that mean that they're going to give it to us and they're going to negotiate? Well, they're negotiating. Who's negotiating? Why would you negotiate with us? Well, you can negotiate with us, but we can't tell the Israelis because they will blow you up. So we got to keep that quiet. And how much longer do we have when it comes to, I broke it down the other day, how much stuff that we've already run through. And then there's a question of how much stuff do they have left? They're shooting less, but does that mean they have less? I have no idea. Because several outlets are reporting they may not have all of the stuff they need to fire in mass, but they may have up to 66% of their arsenal still left. So, for us, are we worried about it here? No, because they're not going to blow us up. But if you're Israel, what happens then? And then you got to think about the other knock-on effect. Let's just say we've decided we're done with this. We're moving out. You guys keep the Straits of Hormuz. We'll be fine. We'll figure out a way over here. Everything's going to be okay. Gas prices, everything go through the roof. There's a new reset, the whole 9 yards. And, oh, by the way, now everybody's got to pay Iran in was it yuan and Chinese or whatever, right? So move away from the dollar. Oh, and then there's the other side of all of this, which is our friends in the Gulf say, you know what? You guys abandoned us. You started this. Screw you. We don't want you guys here. We're kicking you out. And then what? We set up our bases in Israel, which they would love. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. It's the best bad option at this moment in time, and try not to lose any more men and women. We don't want that. We don't. I don't think anybody wants that at all. But the reality of what we're facing here it's not a great reality. There's 92 million people. We're not going to blow them up. I heard some people, let's all nuke them. But you're not going to kill 92 million people. That isn't going to happen. So then what's the option? Because if I'm them, and if any of you listening, if you were honest with yourself and you were running that country, what's the first thing you'd be trying to do? Can we make a nuclear weapon now? Because if we can, let's do it. And let's show the world, let's be quiet about it as best we possibly can so we can show everybody what we did and to leave us alone. I hope that's not true. I hope it's buried. And what we blew up today was a weapons depot with a chance that maybe they had some nuclear stuff there. But there's, as I keep saying, I go back to that Argo movie. Do you have any other bad options? No, these are the best bad options we have. Let me know what you think. We got our hot take coming up. Plus, what did you say earlier, Bell? How many hours until launch?
It was 27 hours and change for the launch of the Artemis 2.
Ooh, it's going to be cool. We're going to talk a little bit about that
orbit
as well.
the moon.
The moon! We're going to whip shot around the moon. Very excited about that. As we found out yesterday, they have a turlet on there. So that's pretty interesting. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Omaha Steaks. Awesome. Incredible. 50% off site-wide, the best around. We're talking about comfort food they've got for you. Meat lovers lasagna. They got everything you could think of. They've got desserts. They've got all of that stuff. And, of course, USDA choice. Fillets wrapped in bacon. But how about this? You got Easter coming up, and you're like, I don't really want to cook for Easter. We got some family coming over. What can we do? Omaha Steaks got you covered. They've got you covered. They got a full meal ready for you to roll. All right, not just steaks, right? Like you want to do something special, you got your family. They can handle you with ham, with the best, and I'm talking about the best ham around, okay? Durick boneless country ham, individual scallops potatoes, which are incredible. My kids love those. They got steakhouse cream corn, individual baguettes with garlic, butter, caramel, apple tartlets, all for you. 50% off right now. You're saving huge. And when you use my code Benson, you're going to save an extra $35 off at checkout. Take away the stress of like Easter dinner and just the comfort side of life and get over to Omaha Steaks today. Use my code Benson. 50% savings going on right now. Guarantee bite for bite. If you're not happy, send your money back. Get your money back. It's that simple. All right. So what are you waiting for? OmahaSteaks.com. Code Benson saves you an extra $35 at checkout. OmahaSteaks.com. Code Benson. See site for detailed terms may apply.
As the Strait of Hormuz remains virtually closed, President Trump, he's got some advice for other countries that are looking for oil, and they probably aren't going to like it. Also, one day now until NASA's Artemis 2 mission. We'll have those stories coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
We're going to talk a little bit about that. Bell and I are pretty excited about the Artemis 2. That's what
it's. I mean, if you think about it, it's not something we haven't done before, but it's been how many years? 60 now, and when we're doing it with much better technology, and I can't wait to see the pictures coming back when they're orbiting the moon.
Yes, that's going to, especially the aliens, because she promised us that we're going to go up there and there's probably going to be some aliens right on the other side of it. Because that's the site we're going to get a shot of.
To your point, I was watching a video of the four of them discussing the mission in the capsule, and there was a toilet in the capsule, which has never been on a spacecraft before.
That's right, Jimmy. They got themselves a crapper.
This is true.
This is true. Speaking of true,
Hot take Tuesday.
Hot Take Tuesday. We give us your hot takes. Remember the hot takes? Some of you are fully understanding, others aren't. Non-political, meaning they're just wacky, they're fun. Somebody said earlier, Elvis, so overrated. I could get that. I could understand that, how some people would think that. I say the Beatles were overrated.
Elvis was a fashion god.
Oh, I didn't say fashion. I said just him in general, kind of the music and stuff. I could see how people could understand that. Elvis's sex appeal put him over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
You know, so there you go.
And the entertainment industry, and the news media gave him more promotion than he had the capacity to ever buy when they started talking about the way he danced and his hips and the whole bit.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
The Ed Sullivan Show, right?
Ed Sullivan did more to create interest in Elvis by not showing him below the waist than he would have if he had just let it go.
That was the first Streisand effect before Streisand was don't look down there because he's shaking it. Shaking it. All right, my hot take is mountain biking is stupid. Nobody really does it. Just like hiking is stupid. But the whole thing with mountain biking, it's a lie. Go buy a mountain bike. You can buy them online. Very few people have ever taken their mountain bike to a mountain.
Yeah, you can get them pretty cheap used.
Yeah. I was going to mountain bike, but then I realized I would probably die. So it's sat here ever since. Oh, so that is my hot take of the day. What do you have, sir?
I like baked fish. I like fried fish. But as a pet, fish are stupid.
Really? What fish, if they do bring your heart, your blood pressure down, they calm you down a little bit, so I got no problem.
So does my cat.
So does your cat. Although your cat.
My snake does it too.
Which of your cats is your favorite? Which one's the friendliest?
The female, the black female.
Really?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Cerise.
Cerise. Come over, hang out with you? Yeah. Pet it? Okay. The other
She'll
one,
come when
not
I
so
call
much?
her.
All right.
The other one, he's a little, he likes affection, but only on his terms.
Okay. Well, that's most cats. By the way, the biggest, because several of you go, I like goldfish. The biggest goldfish of all time, the carrot, 67 pounds. It was a hybrid carp koi, but it looks just like a ginormous goldfish.
With the bulging eyes?
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. That's a big old one. That's a big old one right there.
Yeah, if you have an aquarium in your house and you're going over and you're talking to your little goldfish or, your little angelfish or whatever's in it, get help.
Our goldfish, we went to one, because they're so cheap, right? So you go to the little school fairs and you win those goldfish. So we won a goldfish. We just won one. We're like, I don't need 40 of them. I don't need 40 of them that I'm going to have to throw away by the time I get home. So we got one goldfish. Ponyo lived for like 4 or 5 years and got really big. So then my family called him Ponyo.
Did you fillet him at the end and fry him up?
No, I don't eat fish. You know that. I'm allergic to fish. Like I'm allergic to cocoa, to coconut, raisins, mushrooms.
Liar.
Like all of those things. Yogurt. Oh, God, I'm so.
How do you not like yogurt?
I can't.
Is it the taste or the texture?
Yes.
Both?
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of it. You know what? The texture freaks me out? Oatmeal.
Really?
Oatmeal, it looks like vomit to me. That's all it looks like.
Well, you can use less or more water to change the texture.
It doesn't matter. It just looks.
That's when you dump a whole bunch of maple syrup in it.
Then you know what? I might as well have had a pancake at that point in time.
And then drink it.
You ever gone to like breakfast with somebody like, I'm going to have oatmeal? Like, dude, we're at a restaurant.
That can be a breakfast food.
No, but you're at a restaurant. You can't make waffles.
I can make waffles.
But most people aren't going to make waffles. Oatmeal takes 2 seconds.
I know, but if I want some oatmeal, that's 2 seconds that takes to get my food.
No, oatmeal's awful. There you go. Hot takes. A lot of people throwing your hot takes out there. Let's see here. Hiking is not stupid. It's nature's gym, city boy. It's stupid. Nature's silly. The cat can eat the fish. See, our cats loved the lizards because to them it was television.
The cobra can eat the cat, but it doesn't.
Yeah. Cobra wouldn't eat the cat, though. And actually, the reality is the cobra's not going to catch the cat, so it doesn't matter. I don't think you guys realize. I think there's only one other animal on the planet that has a reaction faster than it's like some weird mosquito or fly that has reaction time as fast as a cat. So weird. Only cool fish is a piranha. A piranha. Green food, says Chris. Oh, you're allergic. You're allergic to that as well. Anything green? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of those allergies.
Yeah, a lot of us do. Stay away from those things. All right, coming up, we'll talk a little bit about what happened at SCOTUS today. Got some of your text messages. People are like, you're so gloomy about Trump. Why don't you love him? I want Trump to succeed, but I'm not going to bury my head in the sand and go, this was a solid move. If you can't go, this was stupid. I mean, the minute that you have Lindsey Graham talking to you about anything, you ever jumping the shark.
And Lindsey Graham is about as rhino as you can get if you can actually put a definition into that.
Well, he's more than just a rhino. He's more flamingo.
Why did we do this right before midterms?
I know. That was a horrible move. Horrible move. I think we recognize that. All right, coming up, all that and so much more. Jeff Ben Show, Super Talk 997.
"32 minutes now past 2 p.m. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. A weather forecast, you know it's coming up. As the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, President Trump's telling other countries to either buy the oil from us or build up some courage and just take it. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest.
President Trump now says he believes the Strait of Hormuz will, quote, automatically open when the U.S. ends its military operations against Iran. He told the New York Post in a phone interview Tuesday the U.S. won't be there too much longer, saying it's, quote, total obliteration. But when asked about a Wall Street Journal report that he's considering ending the war without the strait reopening, the president sidestepped and said, quote, I don't think about it, to be honest. But on Monday, the president threatened to bomb power plants, oil wells, Karg Island, and possibly the country's desalination plants if the strait did not immediately open.
Back here in the U.S., it's T-1 day until the launch window for NASA's Artemis 2 mission opens. NASA astronauts are attempting to orbit the moon. It'll be the first time NASA has been near the moon since the 1970s. The launch window opens at 6:24 p.m. Eastern Time. But meteorologists will also be watching the weather. They want to make sure that the rocket has clear skies for takeoff. During a news conference today, senior NASA test director Jeff Spaulding praises the work of the Artemis crew as well as the other engineers.
Our team has been working amazingly hard through these weeks and months trying to get this vehicle ready to where it is. We've had some challenges. The team has done an outstanding job managing each and every one of those throughout all of this, through many different scenarios, through weather, through lots of different things that we've had to work through to try to get through all of this and get to where we are today.
We continue to learn more about golfer Tiger Woods' latest car wreck. It happened last week on Jupiter Island, Florida. And according to an affidavit, Woods may have been under the influence of a substance. Woods was arrested last week. He was charged with DUI. We hear more about it now from ABC's Ike Ejochi.
The affidavit said that Woods told the responding deputy that he looked down at his cell phone and didn't realize that that truck slowed down. However, the report says the driver of that truck that he hit helped Woods out of that car, and that's when he said that he appeared lethargic, moved slowly, but nevertheless was still extremely alert during the investigation with deputies.
That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Mostly cloudy sky. Some wind gusts will kick up about 20 miles an hour. It's going to stay warm through the next several days. Temperatures back into the 80s again tomorrow with increasing rain chances. We'll see rain off and on through the week and into Easter weekend.
All right, guys. The Wellness Institute of Nashville, my doctor, Dr. Mitchell, should be your doctor as well. Right now, this year, 2026, 47% off non-surgical decompression. It is awesome. Back, neck, sciatic, slip disc, bulging spinal, all the things that are going wrong. You can go see Dr. Mitchell, and he's going to help you. Not only is he going to help you with all of his knowledge, but he's all about innovation. Yeah, they got robot lasers, anti-gravity machines, but now they've got the only hydrowave machine in the state of Tennessee. Stimulate your very own stem cells It is incredible. A pain-free life right in front of you. It is absolutely possible. Bring your MRI. Come get a full workover. Make sure they're going to give you x-ray, the whole 9 yards, and then get to feeling better. Get your back. Call the Wellness today, 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009. Check them out online, painisbad.com, painisbad.com for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. I am answering somebody back. We're just talking about fish. Somebody's like, the mantis shrimp. Have you seen the mantis shrimp? I get sucked into these things.
Yes.
That's the one that punches?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when it hits, the water surrounding it is hotter than that of the surface of the sun? That's how hard it strikes. Have you ever seen it just like there'll be a big crab and it punches and the whole crab's arm just falls?
Well, yeah, and it's also strong enough that if it punches your finger, it'll break the bone. Shatter it.
Yeah. So don't have that happen. And although I watched it the other day get into a fight with a octopus, yeah, that didn't go like it thought. It punched the octopus ran. Game over.
Know your limits.
Hey, this thing's squishy. We're going to go to space with Gary Gnu and the Gnus. It's a great space coaster. I'm pumped about it. So
My only issue with this whole thing is there's a Canadian on board. Absolutely unnecessary.
Well, apparently they design the arms and stuff for, what they're going to be doing and some of the stuff, so we had to let them go. But what is our... So yesterday the probability was 80%.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the Artemis probability now, what it looks like. Because, again, first of all, it's Florida, right? So this time tomorrow it could be snowing, and then it'll be 114 degrees. Man, can you believe it has 750,000 gallons of propellant.
Still 80%.
Still 80%. They said the biggest issue isn't the rain, it's lightning. If there's lightning, obviously you can't go there. That's probably not something you want to fly through. So they said that there's going to be, and the window's going to be open long enough. There will be some clouds and some showers with some winds, but for the most part, it's an 80% go. And they're worried about the lightning and electric field if it starts to get worse. Oh, man. I wish kids and more people paid attention. I was talking to my kids about how cool this is. As we talk about all the other stuff and people are fighting over, it's war, it's this, it's politics, it's all the wacky stuff. because there's a bunch of crazy stuff going on. This is like so incredible what they're going to do. And I'm pumped about it. But it happens, what time? Is it 6:45 tomorrow night, which will be 5:45 our time? It's PM, right?
Yeah. So it was 27 was 3. So it's like 20 hours from now. Or 20 and a half, something like that. No, that's not right.
That's not right. You know,
I can't do math.
So it'd be 26 hours from now.
It was basically 27 when we started the show.
Yeah, so 20, it'd be 5:45. So Matt would be in the midst of it taking off. You know, one of the other things you were talking about, how close, people have no idea, like how many times, go and look, those first several years of them trying to get rockets off the ground didn't go well. Then they burnt, how many people died before they even got off the ground?
Apollo 1, all 3 astronauts died in the capsule during a test.
I mean, this is crazy to do this. And I always go back to that silly movie, Armageddon, when Steve Buscemi goes, "Hey, Harry, check it out. There's 50 million flashing lights." He goes, with a million gallons of jet fuel behind us, all built by the lowest bidder. It is crazy. I mean, 750,000 gallons of propellant.
The thing that I'm most interested in is the Apollo 11 landed on the moon with less computing power than the average calculator. And we have 50 plus years of advanced technology advancing. And I'm interested in seeing how the mission plays out with that technology in performance.
Yes. I mean, when you your phone blew away anything that any of the Apollos had. Absolutely. I mean, just crush those things.
Even in the late 80s, the average car at that point, which, computers weren't part of cars as a rule at that point, but the average computerized car, a car that had computerization in it, was stronger than the Apollo computer was.
Yeah. They needed it to be, it was go forward, you've got your flaps, slow down, speed up, and that's kind of like, that's what's going to happen. This is it. This is not, I mean, go look at, have you ever seen World War I and World War II planes?
Yeah.
You've been inside of them. You're like, how long did it take you to learn how to fly this? 30 minutes. Up, down, this, kind of thing. It wasn't too much dissimilar from that. Down on the ground, they had a lot of stuff. With the technology that they had, albeit limited at the time. But it's also weather permitted. It shows you too how fragile this is.
Yeah.
A spark of lightning, there's an explosion like you cannot believe.
Looking back on the Challenger disaster, there was a engineering team that warned them about the O-rings and begged them not to launch. Yeah. And NASA was like, screw you. You don't know what you're talking about.
I remember which one was that? That was
Challenger.
Challenger. I remember listening to K-Rock in L.A. that night, and a guy who originally did Love Lines. They were doing a call-in show that night because people were upset, right? Yeah. And they were calling in. And then a week or two later, everybody had heard about, somebody actually called up and said it was the O-rings. And, this is before, what? Talking about. And my first thought when I heard what it was how can something that small be so detrimental to something that big? Do you know what I mean?
Well, my curiosity became, how can you tell them that you're going to ignore their advice, watch the results they warned you about, and then go, okay, we're going to keep doing this and we're not going to pay attention, and then you have something like the Columbia happen. And in between those two missions, there were plenty of close calls where there was one issue with an Atlantis launch where it almost blew up. It was like seconds from blowing up.
Man. You do wonder how close they get.
NASA's motto ought to be, hey, you got to take some risks.
How many of them died during all the Apollo missions? Because you were watching a lot of that last night.
During the actual missions,
Yeah.
the only one, none died during a mission, but when, to my knowledge, it was only the 3 on Apollo 1 who died because NASA had put 70%, they pressurized it with 70% oxygen, which made everything extra flammable.
Extra flammable.
And you had to use a wrench to open the door.
Yeah. Virgil,
look like
Gus Grissom, Edward White, and Roger Chaffee died from asphyxiation and cardiac arrest when the fire went through. But the training astronauts is where they had a lot of deaths. Ted Freeman, C.C. Williams, Ed Givens all died in plane crashes while they were actively testing for the Apollo mission. You know, those, I mean, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, you're the joke about it, you know, all these lights blinking. It's crazy to think that, but it's true. But this is going to be cool tomorrow. This is going to be cool. Since then, well, billionaires have been sending their pals up to space for quite a while.
And if you got an extra 250,000, you can go too.
I remember, who was it? The first, God, what was his name? His name was Dennis. I'm trying to think. He was a commodity broker. And do you remember when he bought, this was well before, nobody even knew who Elon and these people were. He bought a trip with the Russians to space. He spent $20 million after the wall fell and they had no money and they were trying to go to space. He gave him $20 million to allow him to fly to space.
Yeah, we're begging for cash.
Yeah, they were begging. And I think he stayed on the space station for like 7 days. So, I mean, that's crazy.
Lance Bass, Lance Bass had paid to go on one of the missions, and I think it was I can't remember if he went or not, but I want to say they canceled that mission before he went.
Oh.
And I think Lance had paid the $20 million too.
Yeah, let's see here. Dennis Tito was his name. On April 28th, 2001, he spent 7 days and 22 hours in space. It cost him $20 million. It was his first flight, and it was the first time a private individual paid for their own trip to space. Looking back at it now, could have saved yourself $19 million. But he went to the space station.
Lance Bass did not go to space. He had financial backers paying for it. He had finished his cosmonaut training, and the backers pulled out.
How weird is that? They're like, hey, you guys want to send somebody from, was he an NSYNC? Was he an NSYNC guy? Do you want to send one of the guys from NSYNC to space? Here's the thing. Would you go?
No.
No.
No. No. I wouldn't go to Challenger Deep either.
No. I've always said, like, if they come to you now and say, would you go? And it's right outside, you think, maybe I'll think about it. If you give me time to think, that's going to go away.
My biggest fear would not be the ship blowing up. It would be me throwing up in front of somebody and then getting it on camera.
Vomiting everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy Lord. All right, coming up, Matt is here. We're going to wrap up the show. Remember, tomorrow is One Hit Wonder Wednesday. One Hit Wonder Wednesday. You guys know what it's all about. Start giving us your one hit wonders. You can tweet at me at Chad Benson Show. Right? If you want to give us one, you can DM us directly. You can do all of those things. Tomorrow's One Hit Wonder Wednesday. Will Bell retain the belt for a third week?
Well, Ken doesn't get, I'm only going up against you tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just us two. So we got to bring it hard. That is tomorrow, One Hit Wonder Wednesday. So get your one hit wonders in. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Look at you with your mustache. Is it mustache March?
No, it's not. No.
Or you shaved on accident? Wrong.
No. No.
Looks
That's
good.
not true. Thank you. I like to shave off my chin whiskers to highlight the fact that I can actually grow a mustache. So
I like it.
That's what I do.
I like it.
That makes one of us.
So you don't like it?
I hope you don't like it that much because the mustache is probably going to be gone tomorrow.
No, but
What
it
did Erica
good.
think?
Yeah.
She's not seen it.
You're going to get home and try to shave before she does?
No.
No, I like it, man. Looks good.
No, I don't think about these things very much. I just,
Normally when I have something like that, it's like, oh, did you mess? I did. I messed up with my beard.
Did you? Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I don't mind it. I mean,
I like you. You got the. You're whiter than when I first met you.
Yeah.
I think you're looking good.
It's I love the fact that we can do stuff with facial hair because a lot of people out there, like we always joke with Bell, why don't you grow a big beard? He's like, I can't. This is it. It just.
No, I can't do it either. I mean, honestly, my beard just is kind of it's all patchy. It's like rats have gnawed on your face.
We don't want that.
Bell can grow a beard.
It's not like he can't, like, you got Ken with the big old chin whiskers, down there.
Yeah, I wish I was the guy that, I mean, you've got it. It's the nice and thick. You can't see skin underneath it. It's so pretty. And I got to put the cream in it or whatever the hell they're doing. Beard oil.
Beard cream.
Whatever. I don't need any of that.
Beard cream. What's going on, brother?
I don't know it, man.
Tell you what, my wife got stuck yesterday in that traffic.
Oh, my goodness.
They took her off the freeway.
The van stuff?
Yeah. Oh, my cheeseburger was frozen by the time I got home.
It's a quack. A lot of people were telling me yesterday afternoon, you should have been here when Al Gore was vice president. They said that, he would when he would come back into town, he would fly into Nashville, and it was just an absolute nightmare on the regular.
It was always 4:30 on a Friday.
Yeah.
When people are trying to get home after a long week at work.
Oh, sounds awful.
Oh, God.
Sounds
Biden
horrific.
did that one time when I was in L.A., and it was a nightmare because it's already a nightmare, but then it's doubly a nightmare because they have to shut everything down.
Everybody, and and I imagine that so I told this story yesterday, and this is nothing against any political party, any political affiliation. All of them do this, but they defer the cost. So this was a fundraiser. So if they just come to the fundraiser, so I believe Austin, Texas, was designed specifically to defer the cost of this because this was a $100,000 a plate fundraiser. If you use Air Force Two exclusively for a campaign fundraiser, you have to pay the cost. You have to pay to use it. The political party does. But if you have another event, this is just a stop along the way, you only have to pay I think it's like 20% of it. It's a deferred cost. So the taxpayers pay for him coming to raise money for the Republicans or whatever. All political parties do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like those people that I remember when I was in California. Every weekend, one politician would stay back and pretend like they're working, so they all got their per diem. Right?
It's the same deal,
Yeah,
right? They figure out these little loopholes of the system. So, we don't want to have to pay the full nut on Air Force Two, whatever that amount is. It's never the full nut, but it's a certain percentage. But the percentage goes down if they have an official visit going. And Austin, I think, was his official visit. Nashville was a fundraising thing.
Yeah, they like to fundraise.
I heard $100,000.
$100,000 for couples.
That's a lot for a couple.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's nice that they let you bring a plus one.
I would hope so for $100,000. So what do you get? You get a shake hands, and then you get take a
photographs. And I would think, I don't know, Chad. What do you think? I would think that's what, 40 people.
I would assume, yeah.
I mean, that's not a lot of people. So I would think you would sit there and you would get an opportunity to actually engage with him.
Yes.
And if that's
and you're
worth
only
it to
doing
you.
it through the altruistic kind of like, I'm just here because I want you, and I'm going to do the same thing I don't want anything from you.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
We could talk about
voters.
today.
The voters don't want anything.
No, never.
We're going to talk a little about what went down in Memphis over the weekend with the No Kings rally, and there was some arrests, and now people are complaining about that. Senator Brent Taylor will be on about that. We're going to talk about some downtown Broadway stuff. Iran, obviously, on the table, and this Supreme Court ruling 8-1, liberals ruling in favor of this individual out in Colorado. So we'll talk about that.
That's right. It's about speech, baby. Speaking of speech, tomorrow we're going to have songs instead of speech because it's One Hit Wonder Wednesday. So join in that. You guys have a good one.